Okay, my friend, thank you for tuning in to Win Your Days today. Win Your Days is a movement of men rising up to win in life, love, and business. And I never want you to forget that you are an athlete in the great game of life. As a matter of fact, the biggest stadium you'll ever play in as a man is the stadium of your own life, and every day is game day. Now, I'm super excited to bring this interview to you as I was recently able to reconnect with my old high school football coach, Joey Wiles. And we were in his home talking about life, talking about sports. Coach Wiles has spent 3 decades coaching high school football. I had the opportunity, the privilege, the honor of playing for him in his early coaching career at Melbourne High School. But Coach Wiles has spent 2 decades coaching for St. Augustine High School, where he won a state championship. He was two-time runner-up to state championship. He went to the playoffs 17 consecutive years, and he's amassed 198 wins in 20 years at St. Augustine High School. Incredible career. The list of accolades goes on and on, so I can spend the whole time sharing those accolades with you, but those are some of the highlights. Coach Wiles currently works for Flagler College in the athletic department there, and again, had an opportunity to visit him in his home and talk about life and football. Grab something to write with, grab something to write on. You're going to want to take down some of these key takeaways. Let's get started.
When I played for you at Melbourne High School, one of the things that I remember being really impressed about, and I never really said anything about it, but how in the off season you were always at Penn State or Rutgers, or you were going somewhere to learn something new about the game. And I always respected that about you. Can you talk to what would you say to men? Because a lot of times, like guys like me, we've played, and most guys have played sports at some level,
right?
But the game ends.
Right.
No matter what level you play at, the game ends and you move on.
Yep.
But I always tell my guys, I say, hey, the game's not over. You're just playing a different game now.
No.
You're playing in the biggest stadium you'll ever play in, the stadium of your life, and every day is game day. And so in that note, what are some of the lessons that you would say, here's some sports lessons that guys need to keep in mind for the game of life, and here's how you can apply it? What comes to your mind there?
Well, number one, I was blessed when I first started coaching up in Georgia. Vernon Kidd was the head coach, and I was only there with him for 2 years. And he taught me, in the off season, you evaluate your season, and then you come up with the things that you feel like you need to go learn or improve on, whether it was leadership of your team, whether it was offense, defense, special teams, things like that. So for my whole career, I would spend at least 2 years, or I would go to at least 2 colleges a year. Usually went to a high school as well, but I would go and learn. And what I would say, that learning that has been the most important thing, because now in life, as you face medical problems, whether you face really any kind of problem, but we're all going to eventually get hit in the face with something that's going to stop us in our tracks. So have the mindset of, not always taking, hey, this is the way modern medicine says this has to be done. Keep researching, keep looking elsewhere. You might find a doctor, that you initially never thought, you would ever be hooked up with. So I think that the first thing that comes to mind is always continue to research and look for answers. Never be satisfied with where you're at. And then I always believe, work ethic above everything else. The work ethic that you learned in athletics to overcome things. Through hard work, you can overcome a lot.
Yeah.
And I believe that. So I think those lessons always researching, having a great work ethic has served me well. And obviously, Jason, as we've talked many times, is your faith, your belief and your relationship with Jesus. Um, those dark moments in life when it's just you in front of a mirror, or you at night thinking, all hope is lost, that there is hope outside of you, or outside of a doctor,
Yeah. Yeah.
is going to serve you well.
I think that's beautiful. I always think about, all right, in the game of life, we have the greatest head coach
Yeah.
ever to coach, God the Father, still coaching guys like us. Today, he's written the greatest playbook ever written, the Bible, which tells us how to win in this great game of life. And so I love how you share that. I think the difference would be, so in the game of football, like when I played for you, you might pull me over here and whisper something in my ear and then say, hey, get out there and go run that play, and kind of pat me on the back and go. But in the game of life with our head coach, God the Father, he comes out on the field with us.
Yeah.
We're never alone, like you're saying.